Well, hi there. I'm Colin, aka the Tone Wizard, and I hope you're doing very well wherever it is that you may happen to be. Cheers to you and cheers to me. In today's video, I'm going to be having a look at the brand new Guns N' Roses track titled Perhaps, which was just dropped on YouTube about 3 weeks ago. I meant to get into this a couple of days back, but then the Rolling Stones dropped a brand new track, and I got excited, and I just had to check that out of general curiosity. And by the way, thank you very much for all the new subscribers that came in via that video, and thank you for the response in that one. There were so many good comments and interesting stuff to look into in the comments below, and I do always respond to those comments, and I look at them. That's part of the reason why I enjoy doing the channel, is getting to hear what you guys have to say. So I look forward to the stuff coming in on this video as well. But yeah, I wanted to check this out. Now, apparently this was just finished recording, but it was actually recorded during the Chinese democracy sessions back in 2000 and was leaked online in 2019 alongside other tracks from the same era, according to Wikipedia. And I was looking just for fun into the details here, and I saw that it had been recorded between 99, 2001, and then again in 2023, which I'm assuming is when Slash, Duff McKagan, Dizzy Reed, Richard Fortus, and Brain, the drummer Brain, who I think also has played for Primus, hopped on board. And I understand that they're kind of getting back together. Maybe there will be a new album, maybe a tour. I think they might already have been touring. I apologize. I'm not a big Guns N' Roses fan. I've always kind of been. They came out kind of just before the era when music was really starting to become a big driving factor in my life, and Nirvana kind of came along shortly, kind of just after the end of the peak of Guns N' Roses, to my memory, and they kind of blew all that stuff out of the water. And I think Guns N' Roses, to me, were never a glam rock band. They were kind of like a less flashy Aerosmith, and I always kind of put them, and I don't mean to be insulting, I'm just not a big Guns N' Roses fan, but I always kind of put them like maybe below AC/DC, but above all that glam rock crap, and then probably above a band like Aerosmith. In my opinion, they have great songs, and I can always get into a band if they have great songs, and Slash is playing, although it's not my favorite kind of playing. I mean, you can't shake a stick at it. But also, the reason why I kind of wanted to check out GnR is because I did see some of the live concert footage that was coming in, and I saw that some people were kind of mentioning Axl's voice maybe not being what it used to be, and hey, it damn well shouldn't be. Like, you know, if you think about these singers, these great singers, guys like Axl, guys like Robert Plant. I mean, those guys aren't just they're not Johnny Cash. They're not on one register. They're pushing it. They're basically, in my opinion, like athletes. And as an athlete on a very low level myself, I can tell you that when I turned 34, 35, I just could not do what I did when I was 25. And there's a certain level of athleticism that requires a certain level of maintenance. And for a singer, it's being on stage every night and keeping yourself healthy, and the margins between what they used to do and what they can do after years of maybe hard living or whatever. I'm not necessarily saying that in the case of Axl Rose, but just as time goes by, there's no reason to expect that they could possibly be what they were back in their 20s. But I kind of also was touching on something like this with the Stones video that I did the other week, because there were some negative comments on that, and I know there's been some negative sentiment about it. But I mean, the two guys in the Stones, Mick Jagger and Keith Richards, the Glimmer Twins, as they're called, the songwriting duo, they're 80 years old. And I just worked for a lady. I have a business, and my client was 80 this week, and she was trying to give me $5 to go to Starbucks for, because she can't drive anymore and she's not well enough to take the bus. Now, I don't know when her album's coming out or when her stadium tour's starting, but I hazard to guess that it's not going to be anything close to what those two guys in the Stones are still doing. So I thought it was kind of curious that both of these things kind of came up at the same time, and I kind of want to know what your thoughts are in the comments below about aging rock stars. Do you think they should still be doing it? Do you think they should just pack it in and go out on a high note? Do you think that they should keep doing it, but maybe they should look at the cost of the tickets after all these years, and maybe, you know, if you're paying $600 to go see some of these bands in the lower bowl of a stadium, are you getting value out of that, or are you just paying them for their legacy? And they're obviously still making a lot of money. That's one thing that kind of comes to mind. I don't have a problem really with anybody doing anything anything, but I think that there does have to be an emphasis on the value of what you're getting, because I did see some footage from the Motley Crue concerts that were going around, and if I'd paid hundreds of dollars to see that and was really into that band, I don't know if I would have felt like I was getting a lot of value there, because there is a point where you go and you see these rock stars, and the aura and the nostalgia and all the memories that you have attached to them can kind of be enough that when you see them, your brain kind of fills in the gap between what they are and what they were, and it's not a problem. I saw Robert Plant in the early 2000s. He played at a Molson Amphitheater, which is kind of a small gig for a guy who was in Zeppelin, but it was perfect. He had a great band. He knew exactly where his voice was. I think the tickets at the time were less than $50, which maybe in today's money would be like $75. And that's a memory that I'll cherish for the rest of my life. It was perfectly fine. But anyways, let me know what you think about that in the comments below. It's kind of a long intro here, but that's why there is a menu feature down below if you don't like to hear somebody like me talk all the time. But I thought before we get into it, because I did see that this song was recorded between 99, 2001, 23, I just thought a little bit of trivia. If anybody, I'll tell you after the reaction. But do you know how long it took them, Axl Rose and the crew that he had working to record Chinese Democracy? Because we all know that that was a bit of a fiasco. But if you know the answer, put it in the comments or stick around to the end and I'll get into it. But without any further ado, this is Guns N' Roses' brand new track, or new-ish, repurposed track, Waste Not, Want Not, Perhaps. On the Tone 98 point...
Perhaps I was wrong when I didn't see you. Perhaps I was wrong when I don't believe you. But I wanna know how it feels. I wanna know.
Get right into it. I'll give him that. Axl looks good there. I mean, obviously it's the video, but
My sense of rejection. There's no excuse for my behavior. You pulled the gun. That shot I crucified my savior. Now he is no more. And I'm without you, just like I was before. The way I used to be. What a weight upon your shoulders.
the keyboard player looked like Domi from PJ and Domi Spectre. I don't think that'd be her though. Let me know in the comments. Yeah, it looks like her, but it's not her. I like these little, it's like flange or phased axles in the background.
Perhaps I was wrong when I didn't see you. Perhaps I was wrong.
Obviously, they have been on tour because this seems to be a compilation of a lot of tour footage from recent years. And it paints a very happy image of the band on tour. Almost like a guitar solo Axl voice. Okay, that was kind of retrospective and very positive. If it was a piece of PR that had been put out to be like, hey, everybody, Guns N' Roses are back, and don't worry, they all get along, and everybody's having fun. And I saw Axl was smiling, people were patting him on the back. It's a very genteel image of Guns N' Roses. I know that most of them are sober now, I believe, but yeah, this is just like. This is just a very wholesome image of Guns N' Roses. Not really what I was expecting. Now, I said before I did the Rolling Stones video that I don't really have expectations when I see these legacy bands putting out new music. I just have hopes. I have hopes that maybe I'll get a good song. I'll get something memorable, and maybe it's a guitar riff or a chorus. If I'm honest with you, I didn't really get one from that first listen. And these great bands, part of the reason they were so great is because they put out these songs that you just heard once, and your brain was just like beep boop boop, did the little monkey ape math, and you were able to kind of almost finish the phrases before before you even heard them all. And that's what great songwriting is, great melody writing is. And I didn't really get that from that video. In terms of a band that has Slash in it, the guitar solo was, it wasn't anything special. The production was pretty good on the track, in my opinion, but it just did sound like a crystal clear, perfect production. And the better the production gets, sometimes bad production can make a slightly boring track sound a little raw and give it a little more nuance and energy. But when everything's so perfect and pristine, it kind of takes away from the feel of rock and roll, in my opinion. And the Stones video that I heard, I did on the channel a couple of days ago, and I'm just comparing these because I think they do have some relevance. But that one was just a straight up rocker. There was a lot of space. You could hear the different instruments going on. This one sounded like more of a cacophony of Guns N' Roses, kind of, the rock machine in action. And I understand that Slash maybe wasn't involved with the writing of this thing if it was started back in 1999. So maybe can't blame him for not having anything spectacular ready on there. I don't know. It was not something that I'll listen again to be perfectly honest. And regarding Axl Rose and the vocals, obviously it sounded great in that track. I did think I heard some double tracking. There were definitely some background vocals going on. I saw Duff was doing some, and those classic kind of low call and answer kind of things that GnR always used to do, the lower register stuff. Axl did have a couple of big pushes there. I can't remember what he was saying. Those sounded like maybe they were processed a bit, or maybe double tracked. And again, I'm only able to pick out this stuff because you hear it so much in music from bands that are much younger. So I'm not going to begrudge them for using that kind of stuff if they did. But maybe I might be curious to go check out some live performances of the track to see exactly what was being done. Not that there's anything wrong with it. On the whole, it was a toe tapper. It had a good feeling, but my harsh assessment of it is that it's kind of like a little bit of a PR tool video, a little bit of a propaganda video to show that the band's on good terms and that they are touring, and that maybe if you have $600, $700, $800 and want to come stand 5 feet away from Axl Rose and throw some of your undergarments at him, you can still do that for that nominal fee. I don't know. Let me know. Now, anyways, I did ask a trivia question at the beginning-ish of my long-winded intro. And that was, how long did it take to record Chinese Democracy? And that took 9 years. It was done between 1998 and 2007, and there are some very amusing anecdotes going around about what happened during that recording process that you can look into if you're curious. Maybe let me know in the comments if you know any more about that process down below. But anyways, thank you very much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed the video, please subscribe to my channel for more videos just like this. Check out my channel for other videos that have a wide musical array of interests. I kind of pride myself on the channel in going and checking out stuff that's maybe not quite as mainstream as the last 2 videos that I've done, but more niche oriented, because that's where the interesting fans are. And where the interesting music is. And I'm always on the lookout for something new, so if you have anything you'd like to recommend, just get at me in the comments. Anyways, thank you very much for watching again. You take very good care of yourself, and I will see you. Look at that. My can is green, and I'm in front of a green screen. That's pretty cool. I'm going to drink some freaking Galaxy juice right now. I'm going to call her a night. See ya.